Thank you all for tuning in to Lima Local News. We now conclude today's broadcast with a special health note. With cold and flu season upon us, it is especially important to monitor our children's health as well as our own. We now turn to Brian for more information on the viral infection, Roseola, which is most commonly seen in young children ages 6 months to 2 years. Brian is on site with a local parent who has a child infected with Roseola to share with us some symptoms of the virus and some facts about the virus itself.
Thank you, Haley. That's right, I'm here with Angela's sick child to discuss the nature of the virus, Roseola. Now, first things first, when did you first notice that there was something potentially wrong with your sick child?
Well, I first knew something was wrong with my child because he was becoming really irritable, and typically he's not a very fussy child. His eyes began to get really red, he was crying, and he kept on pointing to his throat, I'm assuming because it was really sore. He had a really runny nose and a fever that peaked at 105 degrees. After about 3 days, and after the fever subsided a little bit, he started to develop this rash in the middle of his body, and then it just began to spread to his arms, his legs, and his face.
Wow, with your sick child's fever, you must have been a very concerned parent. Can you maybe share with our viewers what the rash looked like so they can know what to look out for?
Surely. The rose-colored sores that were on my sick child's body were small and slightly raised. Thank goodness they weren't itchy and didn't cause him too much discomfort. His rash lasted about a day. From what I understand, though, they can last between a couple of hours to a few days.
Thank you so much for sharing your sick child's case of Roseola with us. Now we'll be visiting Dr. Gray, who has seen several cases of Roseola in her career.
Thank you, Ryan. I am here to share with you what is going on inside of your sick child's body while he or she may be becoming infected with the Roseola virus. The bacteria that causes the virus is known as human herpes virus 6, or HHV6. It has an icosahedral capsid shape, contains double-stranded DNA, has an envelope, and is only about 200 nanometers in size. As seen by this drawing of a farmer and his family, and you can tell they are related because of their hats, human herpes virus only affects humans, not animals, such as pigs. You may be wondering how Roseola is spread. One way a child can receive this virus is through saliva exchange between the child and his or her parent. This can come from direct contact or indirectly from sharing utensils or from the contact of a parent's unwashed hands. There is a possibility of intrauterine or prenatal transmission.
Thank you for that information, Dr. Gray. For all the science nerds out there, can you tell us a little bit more about the pathogenesis of this virus?
The virus first enters the body through a swab of saliva between the child and parent. It is believed to attach to CD4 receptors on T cells. It lives inside the T cells to avoid the host's defenses. The virus, while inside the host cell, causes increased protein synthesis and eventually leads to cell lysis, known as cell death. Mature virions then exit the host cell via exocytosis and are shed into the saliva.
Lastly, Dr. Gray, do you have any advice to our viewers about how to handle being diagnosed with Roseola, or about how to go about receiving treatment for the virus?
One can be diagnosed with HHV6 by a simple indirect IFA, but the disease is harmless and diagnosis is not necessary. HHV6 is very common in approximately 85% of the population. Parents should watch their children closely if they have been diagnosed with Roseola, because harmless yet terrifying seizures could occur due to the high fever temperatures your child may be experiencing. Acetaminophen can be given to help lower the fever, but as always, consult a medical professional for help.
Thank you, Dr. Gray, for all that pertinent information. We'll send you back to Haley at the news desk.
Thank you to Brian, as well as all of our other guests, for all their information on the Roseola virus today. We hope this news helps keep you and your family healthy this winter. Stay classy, Lima.